Hello and welcome to our channel. Today we're going to discuss about the design characteristics of bearings. But before we proceed to our topic, make sure to click the like button and notification bell for you to be updated on our next upcoming videos. In this lesson, the learner shall be able to explain design characteristics developed to improve performance in direct line bearings. Describe the reasons for using white metal, copper lead alloys, lead bronzes, tin bronzes, gunmetals, and aluminum-based alloys for plain bearings. Compare the load-carrying abilities of ball and roller bearings. And the last one is to describe how ball and roller bearings are lubricated.
Good day everyone. Our topic for today is all about design characteristic of bearing. So what is bearing? Bearing is a machine element that constrain relative motion to the only desired motion and reduce friction between moving parts. It is very important to know because it will prevent the damage from being done by this force to the part that support the rotation, and also it will be maintain the correct position. This is the one of the example design of bearing. Characteristic of bearing. There are 6 characteristic of bearing, which is load, speed, torque and noise level, inclination of inner and outer rings, toughness, installation and removal, and lastly, axle location. Load. Single row radial balls bearings with balls separated by a cage can support radial loads, axle loads, and tilting moments. Speed. Maximum permissible speed for ball bearings are mainly related the bearings design and size, cage type, bearing internal clearance, method and types of lubrication, manufacturing accuracy, sealing methods and loads. Torque and noise level. Single row radial ball bearings are permission components and have low torque and noise level. Inclination of inner and outer rings. Shaft and housing set with a poor accuracy, tilting errors, and stop bending might cause inclination between the inner and outer rings, although the internal clearance of the bearings will permit to a certain extent. Toughness. Bearing under load deform elastically at the contact point between the rolling element and bearing ring. Installation. The single row radial ball bearing is a non-separated bearing. Axle location. Improved axle location is obtained with NR and F type bearing.
The next one is to describe the reasons of using of white metal, copper lead alloys, lead bronzes, tin bronzes, gunmetals, and aluminum-based alloys for plain bearings.
What is white metal? So the white metals are a series of often decorative bright metal alloys used as a base for plated silverware, ornaments, or novelties, as well as any of several lead-based or tin-based alloys used for things like bearings, jewelry, miniature figures, fusible plugs, and many other applications. So the reason why white metals used for bearing it is because when there is an alignment or lubrication problem, the white metal bearing can compensate with greater ease than other types of bearings. The alloys used in white metal bearings are also called babbitt metals. These metals have a low melting point and offer very good resistance to frictions. Copper lead alloys. The leaded copper is a metal alloy of copper with lead. A small amount of lead makes the copper easier to machine. Brass and bronze alloys of copper may have lead added and are then also sometimes referred to as leaded copper alloys. Leaded copper and its alloys have been used since ancient times. So why this is being used? It is because it has an excellent heat conductivity, excellent electrical conductivity, good corrosion resistance, good biofouling resistance, good machinability, rendition of mechanical and electrical properties at cryogenic temperatures, and non-magnetic. Lead bronze. Lead bronze is a major usage in bearing. It improves machinability, self-lubrication. These alloys are generally a first choice for intermediate loads and speeds. They are used in machine tools, home appliances, farm machinery, and pumps. Because of its role as an internal lubricant, it reduces friction and thus heat when machining. Lead allows these alloys to be machined at much higher speeds, which results in shorter cycle times. Tin bronze. Tin bronze alloys consist of copper-based materials with a major alloying element being tin. Bronze containing high tin content possesses stronger mechanical properties. This bronze is used for gears, bearings, bushings, pump bodies, and structural parts. It is used in bearings because it is strong and wear resistant, strength increases, good corrosion, and corrosion fatigue properties. Gunmetal, a gray, corrosion-resistant form of bronze containing zinc, formerly used for making cannon. Gunmetal, which cast and machines well, and it's resistant to corrosion from steam and salt water. It is used to make steam and hydraulic castings, valves, gears, statues, and various small objects such as buttons. Aluminum-based alloys. Aluminum-based engine bearing materials provide a good combination of a moderate fatigue strength, load capacity, with a moderate level of anti-friction properties, compatibility, conformability, and bendability. Most aluminum-based bearing materials have bimetal structure. Aluminum bearing alloys used because it has wear resistance, high load carrying capacity, fatigue strength, thermal conductivity, and excellent corrosion resistance.
Now we're going to compare the load carrying abilities of ball and roller bearings. But first, we need to define what is ball bearings and roller bearings. Ball bearings. In small amount of weight, this extremely common bearing is able to handle both thrust and radial load, making it a popular bearing with engineers. When ball bearings are in motion, their main job is to transfer the load from the outer raceway to the inner raceway. This allows for the smooth spin. And take note that the ball bearings are commonly used in small wheels and hard drives, as well as in other everyday applications, but are prone to deformation and under too much pressure. So what is roller bearings? Unlike in the ball bearings, these roller bearings are designed to heavy loads in mind. These bearings are primarily used around the cylinder, meaning this bearing is able to distribute load over a large area, carrying heavy weights. Also, unlike ball bearings, roller bearings are not made to handle thrust loads. The difference between the ball bearings and roller bearings is their appearance itself. As you can see at the picture, there is a different appearance in the ball bearings and roller bearings. But aside from their appearances, the ball bearings only used for the small wheels and hard drives, while in the roller bearings, it is used for the heavy loads in mind. We can't use the ball bearings in the heavy loads because of too much pressure. It will be deform the ball bearings itself. While in roller bearings, we can't there are some roller bearings that are not made to handle the thrust loads. Grease and grease lubrication of ball and rolling bearings. So lubricating grease for rolling and ball bearings element consists of thicker oil and selected additives to improve desired properties. This actual lubricant for a lubing bearing is oil, which can be a mineral oil, fully synthetic, or a blend of the two. There are different types of additives that are added to these oils to influence the corrosion, resistance, properties, and or build layers that protect the metal surface under extreme conditions. Additives also improve the viscosity behavior at different temperatures. So this is how you're going to put the grease on the bearings. So this is not the proper way. This is not the proper way to put the grease. It's because we need to avoid the damage at the surfaces resulting from electrical discharging. So the proper way to put this grease is the side by side of the bearing, as you can see at the picture. So with that one, we can protect the bearing from the surface resulting of electrical discharging or no electrical discharging at a reduced wear. And that's it. I hope that you learned something from us. And by the way, my name is Cedric Cabrera and my co-group is Leo Patrick Limbing and Don Eric Potestas. Thank you and have a wonderful day.